I have run out of coffee syrup because I didn't prepare when I was coming back home. So this coffee has been infused with vanilla vodka, which is the true spirit of Christmas. Welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife, and today, to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, how the fuck did we get there? I am going to answer some questions that have been sent in to me by my Instagram followers, my Twitter followers, and also 2 questions that were asked by my mom and my brother. Answer the 2 of those first because they have literally just come to my mind. So if I don't do it now, I'll forget them. My brother asked me, Buddy the Elf, what is your favorite color? And I have hoodwinked every single one of you. My favorite color is not purple. My favorite color is actually yellow. I was trying to put together a channel name, which was a blog name back in like 2012 when I was 20 years old and I was a tiny baby. And I was trying to think of something alliterative, something that was pretty snappy, but I have kind of learned that people saying my name in videos, my channel name is not snappy at all. I was trying to put together something that was fun, that was quirky, that was cute, that was alliterative, that was pretty important for me, and I came up with pretty purple polka dots. Because there's nothing that you can do with yellow. You can't do young yellow polka dots. You can't do youthful yellow polka dots because I'm not going to stay young and beautiful forever. So pretty purple polka dots it was. My mother's favourite question, first of all, was what was your name, which is slightly concerning considering she's the one that gave it to me. But the second question that she asked was what is your favourite day of the week? And my favourite day of the week is Saturday. I never have plans on a Saturday. I never make plans for a Saturday. I love having like a chill Saturday morning, just lying in bed reading, get up and make coffee, go and sit on my chair, continue reading, catch up on some BookTube. If there's reading sprints, I'll generally hop onto them or I'll watch them. Sometimes I will just watch Becca and the Books, like 2-hour Pomodoro video and read for 25 minutes, do something for 5 and keep going with that. But Saturdays for me are pretty chill, pretty cozy. Sometimes I go into the city and do a little bit of shopping, but Saturdays are just a me day. Let's go on now to the actual questions that are asked for the followers. So the first one is, what is your favorite video you've ever made? I have instantly forgotten every single video I've ever done. I have a couple in my head. So one of the ones that I really liked was going through all 50 states in the US and seeing if I had read a book from every single one of them. I actually really loved doing that. And I think I might do like an updated one of it soon, where I'm going through if there's any more of the states that I've added. I might also do something with the countries of Europe, because there's roughly around the same amount of those. See how many countries in Europe I've ticked off. Another one that I'm pretty proud of is one that I did in 2021 for Christmas, and it was something like, if you enjoyed this holiday Hallmark film, you should read this book. And I did put it out into the universe again this year, and it did pretty well. So I think that that's what people are just looking for around this time of year. They're looking for cozy, they're looking for festive vibes, they're looking for romance. So I'm gonna give them what they want. The next question is one book you wish you could read again for the very first time. And I genuinely think it would have to be one of 3. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, because I don't want to go in and know what the ending is. I don't want to go in and know that all of these people are not going to make it out. I don't want to go in and know who's not going to make it out. And also it's told in such an intriguing way. Honestly, I think if I could go back and read one book for the first time ever again, it would be that one. But also The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think if I could go back and just erase the moment that you find out who Evelyn's true love really was. I remember I was on a plane to Vienna and I was reading that part and I think my face just dropped. So I knew that that was a good one and I would love to go back to it again. Especially when you get a reveal closer to the end of the book. I'd love to go back and see if I could even pick up on that this time. Because I did not pick up on that at all the first time that I was reading it. I actually had to go back to it a couple of times, let it sink in, let it process, and then keep going again with the book. And finally, the third one I would love to read again for the first time is The Appeal by Janice Hallett. It's such an intelligent book. It's so well written. It is so intriguing, thought-provoking. Genuinely, one of my friends said to me, if you're going to read The Appeal, you need to sit down with a pen, with a sheet of paper, and write down anything that you think is going to be intriguing or anything that you think is going to come up again later in the book. My journal for that book is just completely wall-to-wall post-it notes. It's got thoughts, it's got ideas, it's got suggestions, it's got predictions. Some of them came true, some of them did not, but I had inklings or ideas of what I thought was going to come through. And when she said, you need to kind of write these down and see if it works out at the end, that's exactly what I did. What is your favourite project you have taken part in whilst on BookTube? If I don't say rom-comathon, if I don't say my own little child. But genuinely, I do think that rom-comathon is one of my favourite things that I've ever done. It's one of my favourite genres, of course. I am a huge lover of contemporary romance. I love steamy contemporary romances. I love kind of closed-door contemporary romances. So it's always a great week when we get to kind of bring people together to celebrate that, to find new books that you hadn't thought about, to all read the same book together and kind of discuss it and talk about it and think about it. It's also brought me a lot closer to two of my really good BookTube friends, Michelle and Brie, and I am so thankful and so grateful that the two of them kind of came on board with this bananas idea that I had late last year. What is the most important thing that you have learned while you've been on BookTube? Numbers don't matter. The numbers genuinely don't matter. You could be at 1,000 today, and then tomorrow you could be at 1,500, tomorrow you could be at 500. Numbers just don't matter. Basically, if you just do this more for you and what you enjoy and the content that you would want to watch, keep what people want to watch in mind, of course, but if you do the content that you enjoy and if you do the things that you find interesting, then that's going to come through in your head. It's going to come through in how you're presenting the video. It's going to come through in your demeanor. And people are going to come back and they're going to watch it again and they're going to come back to watch other videos on your channel, rather than if you're doing something because you feel like it's popular or you feel like you need to have a voice in on this, but it's not really something that you stand for, or it's not really something that you want to do. For example, you'll never really see me doing a fantasy reads book because my face would just be like sour lemons the entire time. But if you saw me doing a contemporary romance video, you'd know that I'm really in the zone here. So I think something that BookTube has taught me is to just do it more for you and keep you at the forefront than anybody else. What is a 2023 book release that you are most looking forward to? And there's probably a couple. I have now forgotten every single book that's ever going to come out in 2023, but I know that Beth O'Leary has got one coming out at the end of September, I think. I also know that Talia Hibbert is going to write her first YA book, and that's coming out in January sometime. I need to get reading it. I need to get my hands on a copy of it. I need to do it. I need to have it. Oh, if you could read one book from 2022 for the first time again, which would you pick? It would have to be The Appeal. It would have to be The Appeal. It's the book that I kind of go back to and recommend to people who aren't looking for something in the romance genre, who are looking for something in a kind of a thriller sense. And anybody that I know who has read it has really loved it and really gotten gripped in by it. I gave a copy of it to my dad for his birthday and he absolutely obsessed over it. Maybe not to the level that I did, but he had a really great time with it. Do you have a favourite poem? Yes, it's a little bit dark, but I have got a favourite poem. My favourite poem is Midterm Break by Seamus Heaney. Seamus Heaney is one of my favourite poets, and Midterm Break is one of my favourite poems by him. So it does describe a kind of a break from school and from college, and you're going through the whole poem and you think, oh, this person has just come home for, he's come home for a funeral. Oh, there's a funeral happening. Oh, okay, so we'll bring the mood down a little bit, we'll bring the tone down a little bit, and then you get to the very end of the poem. And I'm probably going to paraphrase it a little bit by just forgetting how the actual poem goes, but it's something like, no gaudy marks, the bumper knocked him clear, a 4-foot box, a foot for every year. And when you read that, it just goes bang, straight into the heart, and it's something that has stayed with me pretty much for my entire life. I really like Seamus Heaney's poetry. I've also loved Blackberries, I've also loved Digging, and the kind of idea of how important words are, how important writing is. I think one of the lines of Digging is, a pen, I'll pick it up and dig with it, or something along those lines. But if it has to be a poem, it's probably something by Seamus Heaney. Those were all of the bookish questions, the BookTube questions. Let's go on to the personal, general lifestyle questions. First one, and I don't think it's one that I've ever actually spoken about. What made you move to Germany? I don't think I've ever actually gone into the full details of why Germany on my channel. So let's cast our minds back to 2017. I was 25. I had finished my master's. I had kind of done like a 6-month internship with a wedding magazine in Dublin. Didn't work out. I didn't get kept on. And I was looking around for something else to do. I work as a journalist, by the way. That's another one of the questions. What do you do for work? And I'll kind of go into that from this. So there was a job description came up for a online travel magazine, working for an Irish and UK audience based in Dortmund, which is in the west of Germany. It's about an hour north of Dusseldorf. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours north of Cologne. And I just said, screw it, why not? So I put in an application, did some interviews, got the job, and ended up moving to Germany on the 17th of June 2017, which is 10 days before my birthday. And I had a great time. I have met so many amazing friends there. I have learned so much about myself. Obviously, I have really improved my German. I have lived in a different country. I have experienced a different culture. I've learned different things from so many people from so many different backgrounds, because not only did the company have Irish and UK websites, they also had stuff from Spain, from Italy, from Denmark, from the Netherlands. So there was loads of places that I was interacting with people from. Sometimes for the first time, I had never, for example, met somebody from Denmark. I'd never met somebody from the Netherlands. But now some of these people are among my closest friends, and that is something that I am so thankful for to have in my life now. So we'll go on to another 2 questions from here. The first question is, how did you end up in Berlin? And the second question is, what do you do for work? So how did I end up in Berlin is that I had been in Dortmund for 4 years, and I had kind of thought, I have gotten everything out of the city that I want to. I've gotten everything out of the city that I think I can. So it's probably time to move on. I, for some reason, had Berlin in my head. Berlin was just flashing like a magnet. I knew I didn't want to come back to Ireland. I knew the lifestyle didn't work for me. The cost of living was way too high. A lot of my friends had already left Dublin. And if I was coming back to Ireland, it would have been Dublin. I didn't want to go to Cork. I didn't want to go to Galway. So Ireland wasn't calling out to me. For some reason, Berlin was just like a neon flashing light in my head. So I did apply for the company that I work at currently, which is an e-commerce company. I work in their UK department. I work in their content editing department, which is basically, we stock quite a lot of products on our website, and I mean quite a lot. We have pretty much anything that you can think of, we would sell it. We're kind of like a third-party middleman in that you come on to us, you find the cheapest price, you find the best price for what you're looking for, and then you can go on to another website, say for example eBay or Amazon or anything like that, and you can find the best price there for what you're looking for. If you also scroll down on the page, you will see a couple of product descriptions about what it is that you're looking for, and writing the product descriptions is my daily tasks. And I have been with the company for about a year now. I started in October of 2021, and I swear this is probably the best place I've worked at yet. I have such a great team that I work with. We have a lot of flexibility with what you can do in the day, where you can work your own hours if you have to, like, for example, go to the dentist, or if you have a doctor's appointment. We have quite a lot of flexibility there. Our office is a really nice building. You may have seen some snippets of it in some vlogs that I've done before. It's very central in Berlin as well. So if I'm meeting somebody for dinner after work, it's always really handy to get to places that I need to get to. I really love working there. I really love Berlin as a city. I don't know what it was that drew me to Berlin, but I'm so thankful that my little brain went, let's go to Berlin, let's give it a try. And I also genuinely think that if I had done it backwards, if I had done it moving to Berlin before moving to Dortmund, I probably wouldn't have survived, because you can use English a lot more often in the city. Now, because I'm very stubborn and I want to show people that I can speak German, I try and speak German anywhere that I can. But if I have friends over, they are generally fine, whereas if it was back in Dortmund, they probably would have needed a little bit with help with translation. Okay. So the next question kind of ties on to that is, if you could live anywhere else in the world, where would it be and why? If I was given the money tomorrow and I was told, okay, go somewhere else, even if it's just for a year, even if it's just for 6 months, just try it out, I think it would probably be somewhere in Canada. I'd probably be really stereotypically Irish and try Vancouver or Toronto for a while. I don't know what it is about Canada. I think there's just something out there that I would really love to see. I'd love to experience what it's like. I've got a friend who's living near Vancouver at the moment, and she is utterly in love with the country. I don't think she's ever going to come home. So it might just be the easiest way to see her nowadays. But I think if I had to go anywhere else, I probably would do Canada. With a couple of my friends back in 2018, and we had the best time. It was the best time. We ate everything. We went to see Auschwitz, which was really important to see, and I'm really glad that I went to see it. But I don't think I have the strength in me to do it twice. It was such a worthwhile trip, and we really took in the reverence of it. We really took in the importance of it and the meaning of it. And it's something that I would definitely recommend if you are ever in Krakow. But I do think it's a one and done opportunity. I don't think I have the personal capacity to do it twice. One of my friends who went on the trip with me, if we ever see somebody who is going to Krakow on Instagram or something like that, we will always say, go to Charlotte. There's a French bakery somewhere near the town square that is called Charlotte, and they have the best breakfast we had there. They do their own jams, they do their own chocolate spreads, they do their own baking, and we had like a huge breakfast. I think the morning that we were flying out, we had this massive breakfast spread for basically the equivalent of €8. We had the best time in that city. If I was to go back again, I think I would have even better of a time because I know some of the places to go to. I think I would definitely go back to Krakow. For places that I haven't been to yet, and this one shocks literally everybody that I've said to. I've said this to one of my friends and she genuinely messaged me back, what the hell do you mean you haven't been to Italy? I have never been to Italy, and I live closer to it now than I've ever lived in my entire life. So I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand what's keeping me away from it. I think I'm going to do it over the summer, maybe closer to my birthday. I have got the weekend of my birthday off anyway. I always take my birthday off. So I might just disappear to Italy for a weekend, come back over brimming with pasta, with pizza, with wine, with antipasti, and just have the best time. I'm going to do this in Irish. So one of the questions was, an bhfuil éon Gaeilge agad? Tá. Is Gaeil gourmet? Das me suas timppel fehanóid láúir a chuig ón Gaeltacht is ó Gaeltacht na rinne, sise I Gaeltacht na déise. Bhí ansan sa Gael nuair a bhí mé níos óige, fuair mé éú áras I má áirteist, ach nuair a bhog mé go dtí an Garmáin, níl mar an deise gom an teanga a labhairt, so má tá Gaeilge ag éine, labhairlumm. It has just occurred to me that I now need to put subtitles into every single one of those clips, so enjoy that one. Where'd you get your shades, Apollo? Where'd you get your hairstyle? Thank you, I did it myself. I love these questions. What is your favorite turtle? I have two. So you've got Franklin, who is the little tiny turtle in the Robin Hood Disney film, and you've also got Crush, who is the adult turtle in Finding Nemo. I'm obsessed with him. I love him. I know that somewhere in Sydney in the aquarium, I think there's like an interactive thing with Crush, and it's my life goal to go and see that. What is the best bread? Every. The best bread is every. If I had to go, probably it would be garlic bread with mozzarella on top of it, like melted, really thick slices of mozzarella. I live in Germany and bread for them is like a religion. Every single shop in the country closes on Sunday, apart from like a small few like train station stops or stuff like that, except for the bakeries. Bakeries open 8 in the morning until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon because you cannot take bread away from a German person. I've tried, don't do it. What's your favorite national flag? I really like the flag of the Seychelles. I don't know what it is. I really like the flag of the Seychelles. I think it's just the little kind of like the diagonals that come across the screen, and then there's another like triangle at the side of it. I love the flag of the Seychelles. But also, I really love the Irish flag, and because I'm a petty little princess, if I see somebody who means to use the Irish flag but has actually used the flag of the Ivorian Coast, I call them out on it. And I think you should do that too. Okay, the final question is the big one. What are your top 10 books? Fucking hell, we could be here for a while. Okay, off the top of my head, and I might not even get to 10. Matilda, The Book Thief, The Appeal, the first book in the Princess Diaries series. We're at 4. The I Heart New York. I'm gonna have to look at the books. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look at the shelf. Oh, The Unhoneymooners. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Candy, there she is. There's all of the books that I have ever read have completely left my brain cell, but those are the books that have come to my mind so far. So those are as many questions as I got for 1,000 subscribers. If you have watched to the end of this video, thank you so much for sticking around. If you have subscribed, thank you so much for doing so. I am genuinely very pleased and scared that you are all here, but I am so appreciative for every single one of you. If you'd like to leave a comment but you can't think of anything that you'd like to say, then just leave me the question mark emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.